Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evan and Sean's Lenten adventure. This is our first episode. You want to call it an episode?
Yeah, I'm down for episode. I like that word.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, I might not know you. I'm Sean. I work at Glenmar United Methodist in Ellicott City. That's in Maryland. So we're like state neighbors, if you don't know me.
Fair enough. And if you don't know me, my name is Evan Lehman. I work at Supplee Presbyterian Church. That's in Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. So we're right out like 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia. So again, we are state neighbors. We have the better football team as well. Just had to sneak that in there.
Everything else, but that doesn't matter.
Yes.
Say, Evan, how do we know each other?
How do we know each other? So we know each other from college. Actually, I can say a college story. I was walking into we went to a small private Christian college. So there was like 3 places to get food. And so we were walking into what I would say the main dining area. And I was walking with a couple of my friends and we were carrying skateboards. And this kid comes running up and he's like, "Hey, you guys have skateboards?" And we're like, "Yeah, like we're holding them. They're right here." And he's like, "Man, I've been praying to find people with skateboards." So we're actually Sean's answer to his prayers and all of that kind of stuff. So that's really, and then ever since that, Sean came out to skateboard with us probably the next day or whatever. And we realized that Sean's way better than all of us, but that was still, that's really how we know each other. And then from there, I almost would say, Sean, like coincidentally, you and I wound up in a lot of the same classes.
Yep.
And then eventually we became roommates with a couple other guys and probably history from there, right?
Yeah. Evan and I, we did biblical studies together. Evan also did youth ministry. You were double major, right?
Yes, I was a double major.
Yeah, impressive. So we learned a lot about the Bible, and now we get to call one another whenever we want to talk about youth ministry stuff. So, this is what we do. This is like, we do this anyway, so we just figured we'd hit record. And
I love that. We figured we'd hit record and let you guys watch it because we wanted to do this for Lent. I don't even know between the two of us how this idea kind of came up organically, but it's obviously, you're aware there's a pandemic going on. Lent's coming up, and Lent, is this big season in the church. And so we're like, let's put something together that we can do both at your church and at our church. And for anyone also, again, who's watching this via just the internet, social media, all that kind of stuff, you don't have to feel as though like, "Oh, I don't attend Supplee," or "Oh, I don't attend Glenmar, I can't participate with these videos." It's like, no, definitely not. You can still worship with us. You can still participate in our Lenten adventure, as we are calling it.
Yeah. Lent is something I didn't do growing up. Did you, Evan? Was Lent a thing at your church?
It's funny. This might be a little redundant because if you're with Supplee, I put this letter about what I think about Lent in our kits. It was there at our church, but it was never like explained. Like, you were just supposed to understand what Lent was. And so like my mom and dad didn't do Lent. So it was just like, what is this thing that other people are talking about on a Sunday morning? So no, I'm going to say no, we didn't do Lent, even though it was kind of there.
Yeah, same. My church, we didn't do Lent. No one said why. And I kind of received that as like, oh, we're not a legalistic church. We're like free Jesus people. We don't need to love God. And I thought that was kind of cool at the time. But now I realize I was missing out on a lot. Not just like for my own spiritual development, but participating in the life of the church for the last thousands of years. So you get to kind of tap into this ancient tradition that connects you to God in a cool way. And so that's really why we put these kits together, or we're making these videos. Every week in these videos, we're going to be talking about kind of our Lenten discipline as we go. And really, I think we'll be focusing on, with the kit, how kind of different prayer methods that are talked about in the kit, how we're able to integrate those into our lives, what God might be teaching us, what we find challenging all of those things. Yeah. So do you think, Evan, we talked about this a second ago, but do you think Lent is always about giving something up?
So, yeah, I really quick, sorry, I want to pause before we go there. I want to talk another second about the kit and of like, yeah, I'm really excited to do this kit along with you guys. And what I'm excited about is that the kit, Sean touched on, it has a lot of activities. And I think that partially, something like Lent or sometimes just Christianity, it feels very mental and it stays up here and it never gets into your life, where the Lent box or kit or whatever package you're getting it, even if you're getting it digitally, has very hands-on stuff. So I want to encourage you to participate that and not pull it out and be like, oh, I have to do this. But it's like, no, do those hands-on bodily experiences as part of your faith. But yeah, back to what you kind of touched on.
Wait, no, I want to say something else.
Go for it.
Yeah. Also, when you do the kit, we are sending one kit with each family. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All ages are getting kind of the same kit, but just because your little sibling who's in middle school or who's in elementary school is looking at the same kind of pack that you are with the same sort of devotionals, don't think it's for babies. Don't think it's for little kids, because this is one of those weird things like Toy Story that's for everyone, right? Everybody can get into it and get a lot from it. It's just cool like that. So yeah, dig in.
I love that you said that and touched on that, because and same again, like if your parents are doing it or grandma's doing it, it's still also for you. And I love that. That's the power of Lent, I would say.
Yeah. What else? Toy Story. What other movies are there that are like that? Definitely Shrek. Shrek 2.
Shrek. I don't know if sometimes churches get a little touchy with this, but I'd say Harry Potter, like kids to adults. But I brought up the H word, so we won't touch on Mr. Potter anymore.
I'm a big fan.
Same here.
Recently converted big fan.
I got you. Well, maybe that'll come up in video number 2. But yeah, let's kind of wrap this up a little bit. We were talking essentially of, does Lent have to be something that you give up or not? And this is something like I literally have been reflecting on this all week, and like I'm leaning towards the yes column I think, and this is just, if you're a youth group student at Sippel, you've heard this a million times, but I call them Evanisms, where these are not from the Bible, they're not from God, they're from Evan, they're nothing, don't put your whole life in them. But I think an Evanism that's been bothering me too much is I think lately we think that we're the smartest people ever in human history and we know best. And you see that in all like this disruptions of like traditions. Like this is a weak example, but it's the first one coming to my head. Like weddings were always on Saturdays and they were very traditional. Now you can go to a wedding on a Thursday because we're like, we can break all these traditions and do stuff differently. And like, yeah, it doesn't really matter when it's like a wedding or something, but when it's like something like Lent, where like Sean has said, the church has been doing this for thousands of years. So for us to come along in our arrogance and say, we know the right way to do Lent, and actually it should be this because this is America and we're doing what's trendy. Like, I actually disagree. And I think other years I encouraged kids to maybe do Lent in different ways, but I'm recanting of that. So I do actually think Lent should be a giving up, because and I think, again, it shouldn't be like a bad habit where it's like you're trying to lose weight or stop cussing or whatever. It's give up something that you love because you want to be uncomfortable, the way that you should be longing for Jesus and longing for Easter. Like we're supposed to be uncomfortable in this world and longing for Jesus to come back. And I think in order to get that discomfort, you have to give up something that you like. So I don't know. You can agree or disagree. What do you think? Do you think it's about giving up or no?
So I was thinking about this. I feel like our kids, our families have already given up a lot this year, Mm-hmm. And so I think you got to do what you feel like God has put on your heart. So maybe you got a tradition of sweets. I don't do sweets, or I get off of social media, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If God's put something on your heart, do that thing, Mm-hmm. But don't feel like, I have to give up another thing, even though I haven't seen any of my friends for, who knows how long. And online school is the worst and all that. Maybe God's put on your heart to take up a Lenten discipline. So maybe that's something that you can do through this kit, where you're going to commit to praying in a different way every week. Maybe it's committing to a devotional or something like that. Whatever God's putting on your heart, don't limit it to what you need to give up, is what I would say.
Fair. We can, yeah, no, I mean, you're putting it better than I am, but gotcha. I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think either one. I think obviously you played the trump card with what God is placing on your heart, but I think that I agree with you. I think we should lean into that sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, what God is leading you and directing you to do. And I like the idea of taking up a new discipline and those types of things as well. So, yeah. Any other closing thoughts here, Sean?
There's so much to say, but I think we should probably just leave it for next week.
Yeah, I think what I would encourage you, again, we also talked about, so depending on if you're with Simply or Glenmar or whichever social media account, these are probably going to get posted at different times based on when our churches traditionally do their social media posts and everything. But I think we're in agreement. This video is coming out before Ash Wednesday. And so I would encourage you closing your laptop or your phone or whatever you're watching on this to, I'd say, pray and figure out, do I need to give something up? Do I need to start something? What will give you that longing for Easter? And I would say also set something realistic, because Lent is 40 days. You know what I mean? And so make it something that is doable, obtainable, but also something that will stretch and grow you. You can't, I mean, a student cracked me up years ago. I've never forgotten this. One of the youth group kids, he was a sixth grader at the time, and he's one of our seniors. And I was like, so what'd you give up? And he's like, I gave up reading the Bible. I didn't do it anyways. And I was like, oh my gosh, but it was funny, but it was terrible, and all of those things. So I think, yeah, find something that'll stretch you and have that in mind. I would say before Ash Wednesday.
Totally. And even if you're seeing this after Ash Wednesday, it's not too late.
Yes, I agree with that.
Figured something out that you're going to give up or take on, or whatever your Lenten time is going to be, it is not too late. The boat hasn't left the station. Is it a station or a dock? Train.
Boats can leave anything, I'm going to say. But I think that's the best thing you just said. And also, I know when I do Lent, I'm on day 26, and whatever I was giving up, I blow it. Let's just say I eat that cookie. I'm like, well, there goes the other, 24 days of Lent, or no, 14 days of Lent. Don't do that either. It's not, there is a ton of grace in this as well. So I think that's the perfect thing to end with, Sean, that it's never too late to start, never too late to start over, all that good stuff. So thanks for watching, and we will be back with another video next week. And again, also look for your kit, whether you're picking it up in person at a drop-off point. I know Simply, we're planning on delivering some, as well as having some that you can pick up in person, and kind of also hoping to have a digital download. I'm sure, Glenmar, you guys are doing something like that. So get your hands on a kit, and then let's get going.
All right, Evan, this has been an excellent time of Lenten adventure.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
Peace.
Hey guys, Evan here. Thanks so much for watching our video to the end. I really hope you enjoyed it. Part of these Lent studies assumes that you have a Lent kit. So I just want to make sure that you are aware that one of those is available to you. So first way to get your Lent kit is you can email us at office@simplypc.org and request a Lent kit. And it can be emailed to you, or we can mail you a hard copy. Also, you can go to simplypc.org and you can download a hard copy for yourself. Please note, whether you've been attending Simply since birth, or unless you've never stepped foot in Simply and you found us electronically, you are entitled to a Lent kit. You are welcome to a Lent kit. They are 100% free, and we want to get one in your hands because we want you to celebrate and participate in Lent with us. Additionally, if you do not have a church home right now, we do encourage you to stay on our social media page, check out some of our videos, pictures, what we have going on, and we encourage you to join us for a Sunday. You can join us safely in person with our CDC guidelines in place, or you can join us electronically from the comfort of your own home. Thanks for watching.